the developer of Books Commander. It's a GPT that you can find within the ChatGPT store. It's a GPT that allows you to use your ChatGPT interface to perform actions inside of your QuickBooks. So I've been looking for use cases. I went into Reddit and I'm going to try to work through one of the problems that I encountered. Here's one from a user who writes, before the recent update that completely screwed up reports, especially memorized ones, I used to print a weekly sales report. Started with sales by customer summary that looks something like this. And it shows a customer A, and a list of what I assume are sales, and then a total for that customer, and then customer B, and then total, and then a total for all sales. And he writes, since the update that affected reports, I cannot get this expanded version. All I get is the summary level. So he's only getting the totals for each customer and not the detailed sales for each of the customers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by I'm going to plug in this whole question into ChatGPT. In here, can you help me recreate this in my QBO so I can troubleshoot? Okay. Search. I don't have any customers in my QBO. Can you set them up and input some sample transactions so I can recreate the issue? Okay, so first let's create those two customers, and then for each customer, enter some transactions. Each transaction will be a sales receipt, simpler than invoice for testing. Provide your session ID. Okay. Confirm. Create two customers. Create the customers first. Confirm. I have found also that it's best to work to kind of go through these one by one. So customer A already exists because we probably created it a little earlier. Confirm. And maybe B is already created. I didn't catch that, but you might have created it during our, yeah. All right, so we can go into our customer list to confirm that. Here we go. Okay, so now we're just working with customer A and customer B. Okay, please work with customer A and customer B. Okay, so customer A. Okay, confirm. There was an error creating a sales receipt. It indicates a missing invalid reference. Most likely the service item doesn't exist. The service item doesn't exist. I'm going to say use a generic placeholder. Yes. Let's see what it finds. It's saying it's going to go and retrieve the list of all the sales items. It shouldn't find anything. There shouldn't be anything in the system at this point. Your QBO has at least 2 active service items. So there's service and there's hours. I'll use service. Okay, we're hitting a error which suggests that customer A exists. It may not have a valid reference ID in the system when using just the name. Okay. So it says that it needs to use their ID directly. I'll retry now. Sales receipt for customer A has been successfully created. Next, I'll enter the remaining 2 for customer A. So it was a formatting issue. It's like that's another thing. So typically, when you're uploading information into QuickBooks, it's up to the user to manually ensure that all the fields that need to be populated are populated before they perform an upload. And this is one of the nice things about using this GPT, is that when it runs into an error, it kind of just goes, it talks to itself a couple times, and it tries several times, and it autocorrects until it's able to perform the action. So here now it's saying that all 6 receipts have been successfully created. I'm going to go into invoices, all sales. Here's the sales receipts. Okay. Select any transactions. So here are the transactions that were created for these 2 customers, for customer A, customer B, and this is just for testing. If when you're dealing with live data, you'd obviously make sure that you're telling it specifically what it is you're trying to enter. If it's a sales receipt, if it's an invoice, whatever it is, you tell it specifically what you want to do, and it'll work with you on that. That's the one thing about ChatGPT, is that you do have to be very specific, and the more specific you are, the less likely that it'll make an error. So now that information's in there, I'm going to say, show me how to produce the desired report with details per customer. Okay, so it says go into QuickBooks reports, go to sales by customer detail. Let's go there. So reports, sales by customer detail. Is that what it said? Okay. Change the reporting period to cover the specific week from May 5th through May 10th. Okay, well, they're already listed there. And customize the report. Click customize. Under rows and columns, ensure group is set to customer. Okay, it's already actually doing it. So in this case, it looks like the user is just going to need to, yeah, because this is what they're trying to do, right? Customer A, and then you got the receipts in here, the sales receipts, and the total is there for customer A. Same thing for customer B. So it looks like they're just, it's a situation where they're probably running the sales customer by summary, probably is what they're doing. Yeah, that's what they're seeing. So to QB desktop, but isn't there a sales by customer detail? Report available. In QBO, that report. In QBO provides the report format you mentioned, i.e. All right. So I guess if you're working customer service using ChatGPT to help you think through some solutions, and also using the Books Commander GPT to help you enter information into the system. Also I think over time I've got to do a better job at creating better prompts. And also I wanted to mention that this GPT actually has the ability to submit feedback over to back to me. So I'm gonna actually say, can you write me a lessons learned of technical issues you encountered today that we can submit for feedback. And here it is going to say lessons learned. And you might also indicate, don't include any sensitive information in the feedback. So it's going to just write the different, see, like the problem, it failed when using customer ref name in the sales receipt request. Because the documentation is constantly changing, ChatGPT might be trying to prepare the data in a certain way, or it might exclude certain data at first. And then so when it tries to send the information over to QuickBooks, QuickBooks rejects it. Please submit and make sure it does not include any sensitive information. And if you have other feedback, doesn't have to be this detailed. You could just submit any feedback that you have in this same manner. You just kind of write it out and say, I want to submit this feedback, and it'll send it over to us, and we'll use that information to help us improve the experience. Any feedback that you have, you can submit it this way, and it'd be greatly appreciated. All right, so I'm going to cut this off now, and thanks for joining me.